Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, and this is my forever co-host John. And we said in our 100 subscriber special that we'll be redoing two videos that we really need to improve on. One was Jurassic Park, and I jokingly said the second one would be The Last of Us 2. We don't have the energy for that anymore, so I was like, what else can we do? And I just remembered, oh shit, when we did Harry Potter, it wasn't the best. It's still canon if you want to see our amateur days, but we're doing Harry Potter again. The first one.
This time it's more cohesive.
Yes.
It's not the whole fucking
8 films.
Like 8 films.
Yeah.
I was gonna say genre, but yeah, not the whole fucking 8 films. Is just one movie. We need the videos, okay?
Yeah.
We can just spend it all in one fucking video.
Yeah, it's too much energy and too much time, and we want to talk about them individually because I quite like those movies. I don't know how much of a fan you are.
Hey.
I'm just concerned.
I'm a pothead as well.
Cool. But to reiterate, if you guys haven't seen our first Harry Potter video, and I wouldn't blame you if you haven't, but what was your exposure to Harry Potter?
The movies.
No, I mean like
I was too young for the books.
Did like your family bring you to the movies? Was it like a yearly tradition?
It wasn't a yearly tradition, not like yours. It was a pretty big deal though because my mom did read the books before the movies came out, and then she had the collection and everything. I remember seeing like the hardbacks of it, and I'm like, oh wow, I just see a boy with a broom trying to catch a thing with wings. I'm like, cool. And then I think the first Harry Potter that I watched in theaters that I could comprehend was Prisoner of Azkaban. But the other two, sadly, I feel like we watched it on VHS.
Yeah, same here. Like, Prisoner of Azkaban, again, like you, is the one I could truly comprehend. I remember watching it in the theater. And then, like, for me, as you said, for my family, it was a yearly tradition of mom taking us to see every Harry Potter, which I loved. I just really couldn't comprehend, like, the gravity of some of the stories until, like, the very end. We're like, oh shit, oh, these are the stakes. Okay, cool.
Do you get those, like, every time you go out of a movie of a new Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Like, movie? They'll somebody who has read the book would just be like, that scene didn't happen in the book. Every fucking time I go into the theater, finish the movie, come out, and somebody's be like, that wasn't in the book. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Get off your fucking high horse.
Right? Like, not the gatekeepers. Yeah. I think it's
but for sure we're guilty for saying the same thing about comic book movies.
Yeah.
You're like, that never happened.
Yeah. You're not a true fan because blah blah blah. Anyway, I think this is the perfect time to be talking about Harry Potter because of the new Harry Potter game, which looks fun to be honed. I might.
Yeah, but sadly we don't have the hardware to fucking run it.
It's on the PS4. You can run it on the PS4.
I feel like you're gonna have a whole fucking Cyberpunk.
They say it runs well on the PS4. Everybody's
like, you know what? You buy it, play it, tell me about it. All right.
My PS4 is just doing Leviosa on its own. Like, goddamn.
It does that spell that Dumbledore does in the cave.
Oh god. But yeah, before we get started, like, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is, fortunately, this series was created by transphobe, but we're not talking about her.
Look, separating the art from the artist here. If you enjoy the Harry Potter franchise from the beginning and you still do, that is still fine.
Yeah, there are many folks who are fine folks who love the Harry Potter world, and they have to live with this double-edged sword.
Look, we like a lot of things made by horrible people. The Shining, I kind of hate that, but
Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, just enjoy what you like.
And if you like the Harry Potter world, I personally believe that you don't agree. That doesn't mean you condone J.K. Rowling's views. Like, you can live of, like, fuck her views. I just like this world. I don't think she has any right to ruin it for everyone. Like, she doesn't deserve to do that. She's already ruined enough So why does she
not just her,
yeah.
but anybody else who tells you, hey, if you like this thing, you're a certain person.
Yeah,
because you liked it before you even knew.
Yeah,
so, keep rocking it. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. Enjoy the series that you like.
And
it's
like,
fun.
if you're a streamer who makes money out of this, you can fund programs that support trans rights, and so you can be like, you know what, JK, fuck you.
Yeah, JK, fuck you, but we're still giving her money for watching and playing these things. Anyway, but yeah.
Anyway, it's again a double-edged sword. But yeah,
it is. But yeah, fuck you.
Well, this is the start of eight films, and I guess right off the bat we have to say we'll probably just do 3 this year and maybe 3 again next year. Who knows? But we'll definitely not like hyperspeed. Like, oh, we did all 8 films again this year. Definitely not. That's too exhausting.
Yeah. God. Please don't.
No. But anyway, getting right into it, you meet Dumbledore, who's played by Richard Harris, whose granddaughter threatened to never talk to him if he didn't do Dumbledore. Because he was always like, no, I don't want this role. I really don't. And his granddaughter's like, if you don't take this role, he'll never talk to you again. Like, oh, okay.
She was a big fan of the books.
Yeah. He meets with Professor McGonagall and Hagrid, who's played by the late great Rob Coltrane, I believe his name was.
Yep.
He brings Harry to them, and McGonagall's like, is this the best route? And Dumbledore's like, yeah, it's the only route, because he is, as she says, going to be the most famous boy in the wizarding world, and he'll be safe with these not so great relatives, but he'll be safe either way.
I could never understand that logic, but yeah.
Yeah. And then years later, you see why Professor McGonagall was like, are you sure this is the right way for this boy? Because he's kept under the stairs, treated like shit by the relatives and the son. The son who, by the way, is in the Shakespeare movie with Denzel Washington. You're like, what the fuck? That's Dudley.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's also in Edgar Allan Poe, playing as Edgar Allan Poe movie with Christian Bale. So the dude's doing great.
Yeah.
I say he's an amazing actor.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear good things about it.
Pretty good.
And then you find out that Harry Potter can talk to snakes, and that's every time he does something magical, his aunt and uncle are just like, stop doing magical shit. We don't like that. And his cousin,
it's like, yeah,
his cousin's just the worst. You're like, I'm surprised Harry doesn't sneak like a punch here and there.
No, because like I remember hearing like what my mom would explain what the Dudleys would do to Harry, where he's like, for his birthday or Christmas, he doesn't get presents like new toys or anything like that. He gets hand-me-downs all the time. He sleeps in the attic or underneath the stairs. If there's guests around, he has to stay there. Or when he was old enough, he had to serve them, which is a very odd concept. But okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why Hogwarts didn't like call up Child Protective Services and like, hey yo, this is not okay.
It's like, Dumbledore, should we call the police while we're at it? Because they know he lives down. Because the letters say, oh, Harry Potter, the boy who lives underneath the stairs. You're like, oh, you know. Cool.
But you encourage this.
You did nothing.
Yeah. But yeah. So we get the scene of like Harry getting a letter. Sadly, they're being burnt and tossed away every time he gets one. It comes to a point where Hogwarts just pulls Alfred Hitchcock and just send all the birds rushing into their house.
Yeah. And then they move to this abandoned island because they're like, no more letters here. No one can reach us, and that's when they meet Hagrid, who, by the way, I think the first person who wanted the role was Robin Williams, but J.K. Rowling was like, I don't want non-British people. Are you okay? He just died in front of me, Jesus.
Just imagine, though. We would have had Patch Adams as Hagrid. It would have been so great. What if he was a foreign exchange student?
well, she didn't. Well, the creator said no, non-British people. So there's
Transphobe and I wouldn't say racist because they're both white.
Xenophobic.
I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah, Hagrid tells Harry the big news that he is a wizard, and his aunt and uncle kept that from him because his aunt is like, "Your mom was always a freak. I knew she was a witch. I don't like magic." You're like, if you knew your relatives dealt in magic, why do you want to fuck with people who are more powerful than you?
Same here. Like, if somebody, like, even today stands when they say they delve into magic, no matter if you're a skeptical or you're a hardcore believer,
yeah,
do you really want to take that chance that they can?
Right? You're
like,
there's some things in this world I don't want to mess with.
Same here. Like, oh yeah, satanic rituals, that's just full of baloney. You still don't want to experience what they can do, right?
Yeah, and like, oh, but you're an atheist. Like, there are things I just don't want to find out that are real. Like, I don't want to find out, like, oh, cool, they can summon demons. Fuck.
Okay, shit, I wish I believed it, you know?
And Hagrid's like one of the first few people to ever treat Harry with a shred of decency. He even brings him a nice birthday cake. You're like, oh no, no one remembered that it's Harry's birthday, or no one cared.
Yeah.
And when he turns,
yeah, they were supposed to be like, what was this? Like they live in like a lighthouse.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Of all places, why a lighthouse?
Well, they were hiding from Hogwarts there, but like I do like when Hagrid turns, gives Dudley a pigtail. Like, you little shit, you won't fuck with wizards no more.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so Hagrid takes Harry away, and this is a thing that kind of disappeared after the the fifth movie, in my opinion. The fourth movie, which was Goblet of Fire, which was the magic. I'm sorry to say, the story became very interesting once we started getting into the Deathly Hallows era. But here, this was like, wow, going down the street.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah, Diagon Alley, and then you see the bank, you see Hollivanders. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, wow. And then you see the soon to be candy shop or like trick store of George and
yeah.
What was the other guy's? The one that didn't die.
I'm sorry, I don't keep track. It's been a while since I revisited these movies. But
Dave.
But when you're going down Diagon Alley, you're like, the world building is so rich in detail. Like, I wish movies who were trying to start some lore would pay attention to things like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, because the attention to detail is excellent. And like, as you're going down, Harry's like, I can't afford any of this. I have no money. And Harry's like, oh, you thought your parents would leave you with nothing, and then you find out that Harry's pretty loaded. You're like, God damn, that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, like, I guess. I'm trying to think. I'm like, why couldn't they just get like a good relative? But I guess the only good one is stuck in Azkaban for a bit.
Or, I mean, if they did find a good relative, he might be hunted down again by the Dark Lord. And it happens all over again. Like, fuck, I have 2 scars now.
Is this their way to like suppress his magical abilities?
Yeah.
Just so they don't find him until they get him into Hogwarts?
Like, let's leave him with his aunt and uncle so they can mistreat him, and that will suppress his magic. Like, oh, cool, thanks. But yeah, I do like how Harry gets this one, and the actor is the late John Hurt. Yeah. And then he tries out the other ones. He's like, oh no, this is not right for you.
Man.
The fact that a one has to be right for you, like, I never thought of it that way. Cool.
Again, it's very sick and kind of cool. Where it's kind of like an anime where you're just like, oh, this one's designed for you. Like you see Beat-A-Man, everybody has a very specific and cool looking one, or a Beyblade where you're like, yeah, it's tailored to me.
Yeah.
And you always like that shit. And in Harry Potter, they do that with a wand. I was like, just imagine, what if I was a wizard kid and I had the options to pretty much create my own character, go into a sorting, like get the sorting hat on my head and know where I belong. I was like, that's so cool. It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, and they got all the things Harry's acquired, but it's from John Hurt's character that Harry Potter gets a hint of like who wanted him dead, and he asks Hagrid like, we really can't say his name. Who wanted me dead? And Hagrid tells the story of Voldemort. We tried to kill him, but his parents saved his life, and he couldn't be touched by the killing curse, and that's why he has a scar on his head.
Yeah.
And the fact that they
we also find out that his wand is the brother wand to Voldemort's wand.
Yeah, and the fact that you're not supposed to say Voldemort's name. You're like, it builds mystery until you see him goblet of fire, where you're like, oh shit, it's him. Oh no.
Yeah. But we do see him in this movie though.
A bit, but not. We see him with a nose. He's not noseless yet.
Okay.
And then they go to the train station where Harry's like, oh, you have to go to the platform 9 3/4. And
3/4.
Sorry, 3/4. I'm getting it wrong. Oh no, I'll be crucified.
It's okay.
Again,
I know.
3/4?
3/4.
Yeah, I just wonder how many muggles were like, how do you do that? And just try it for themselves and they're like, oh fuck.
I don't. Wait. Did Harry not do it from the first time around?
He asked like the Weasleys, like, oh, how do you get to there? They're like, oh.
No. Okay, no. Sorry, he did do it. He, like the first time. I think it was the second movie where he just like couldn't, and they just stuck the car, right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of Mandela effect here.
Yeah. And then that's where he meets Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. And like, as a kid, Hermione, I was like, that was the first time as a kid I had a crush on a movie character. Like, oh, cool. This is what a crush feels like.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, Emma Watson now. I'm like, whew. Hi.
Right.
If you're watching this, we're not creeps. Promise, we like you. Shit.
Well, he just dug himself a grave. Moving forward, you seen the meme of like Hermione practicing her magic, like, oh, you can do this spell? Watch me do this. Avada Kedavra, and then it's credits.
I read it in a book. Yeah, she like fixes like Harry's glasses.
Yeah. Like, I do like how Harry shows how loaded he is with Ron, because he tells the card person, like, oh, we'll take everything on the card. And Ron's like, damn.
Yeah. Coming from a poor family, I'm like, Harry, you asshole.
Those beans are nasty, though, if you ever tried them. The
what?
Different flavored beans where, like, oh, it's vomit flavored. Like, how do you know this?
I hate that shit. They did make it. It's here in real life.
Yeah. You're like, do I really want to take a chance? I'll just get the regular beans.
Well, like, you think that being a candy taster is a great job until you hit, like, the jelly bean area. I'm like, fuck.
Right. Like, wet tissue flavor. What diaper flavor? Like, how do you know this? Jesus.
Sorry. Anyway. Yeah.
But they do get to Hogwarts, and again, just the way movies were made back then, you're like, I wish they were made like this now, where you see the effects of both CGI and practical, and just the hall alone where the kids sit down and have their houses given to them. Like, movies don't have this. I feel like we don't have this magic anymore. Even the Fantastic Beasts, it's lacking the magic of the first Harry Potter. Where it doesn't feel the same.
I agree. I do agree. Maybe it's because the time when it came out and what time, the age we were at probably is a big factor. But when I say I felt this feeling before, like after, say, Jurassic Park or the first Harry Potter movies. No, sadly, I don't. I don't feel it in any other, other movie. Sad to say, but yeah, it was unreal. Like, they're on a boat, they're sailing towards Hogwarts, and then you get the Sorting Hat where everybody made it such a big thing. And fuck you guys for shitting on Hufflepuff. I don't fucking care. I wear it loud and proud. We have Batman. He's dead, but like, we had him.
Which Batman?
Robert Pattinson.
He's not dead.
I mean, he's dead in
Oh,
the Harry Potter universe.
Okay, sorry.
You say you're a fan.
I never said I was a fan. I like the movies. I forget details sometimes, man. But yeah, while they're sorting, before that, you meet Draco Malfoy, who's played by Tom Felton, who auditioned to be Harry Potter. So you're like, I wonder what would happen in another universe where Daniel Radcliffe.
I would have loved it if, like, J.K. was like, no, Harry Potter probably not, but you do look like a rich prick. So
Just imagine a universe where Daniel Radcliffe is Draco and Tom Felton is Harry Potter. Like, that'd be an interesting universe.
that would have been so sick.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like how Harry Potter's like begging, like, please don't be Slytherin, please don't be Slytherin, and the Hat's like, oh, alright, not Slytherin. You're like, you didn't have to call me out, but sure.
It was like, lower your voice a little bit, you piece of shit.
And they're all giving his house. Harry's giving Gryffindor, so is Hermione and Ron, and of course Draco is Slytherin.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you meet what's his face? Neville. You're like, oh god, the character progression on you when we reach the end is amazing.
It's not just in the movies.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
And then you meet the rest of the professors. You already met Professor Quirrell, but you also meet Severus Snape, who's played by, I'm tired of saying the late great, but the late great Alan Rickman. We're like, oh god, I missed.
Look, a lot of people in this movie is dead.
I've moved on, I've passed on.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be, the first person was Tim Roth for Severus Snape, but he chose something else. He chose Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes over this. He's like, fantasy, no thank you. I prefer Planet of the Apes.
No, but remember, Planet of the Apes was such a big thing back in the day. We didn't know about the shitty 2001 Planet of the Apes. So he took a chance of, like, a well-known franchise.
Yeah.
Or property over this up-and-coming new thing that might not make it.
Yeah.
That's catered to children. So we don't know, but I still love it that we got Alan Rickman.
Yeah. And then you see, again, how the school works and how the world works. Like, you see the pupils learn from different teachers, and you see how different each teacher is. You're like, oh, this teacher's more relaxed. But, like, when you get to someone like Professor McGonagall, who's like, why are you late? You're always late. You're like, I'm sorry.
Why is it always you three?
It's like, it's such a big school. It's like, oh, do you want a map? You're like, lady, the stairs move. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Exactly, right? I'm like, you piece of shit. It's my first time here.
Yeah.
The stairs move. And not through my consent, either.
Right? And then when they get to Snape, he asks Harry, like, a freshman, all these difficult questions, and Hermione's like eager, but he keeps grilling poor Potter. He's like, oh, I guess fame isn't everything. You're like, you're a dick. You're just mad because you know who his father is.
You're just mad because you're a cuck.
Oh, but that's for the future.
Sorry, Alan Rickman.
No, not Alan Rickman. Just Snape himself.
Just Snape.
Yeah. And then you get how you're like, how does Hogwarts stand as a school with all these dangerous things to kids? Because you're introduced to what's the sport?
Quidditch?
Yeah, Quidditch. And like, oh, just kick off the ground. You're like, oh, the rooms don't come with any protective gear? No saddles, no helmets.
No, just hold on tight. I love padding, but I don't know if that'll help you with, like,
the padding is
impact. The G's you're experiencing as you fall to the ground.
Yeah, like poor Neville's experiencing like near 10 G's and slams to a wall. Like, how are you not dead?
It's kind of surprising. Remember that like gym teacher that they had that was teaching them how to use the broom?
Yeah.
You never get to see her right after that. Yeah, poor lady. But you gotta love how they introduce Quidditch too. You're like, it's this magical sport where you fly in your broom, you try to catch this flying thing, this golden snitch, and we all work as a team. Oh, by the way, we have a ball that's coming straight at you, like at light speed. That will probably knock you off your broom. when you're like God knows how high in the air.
Yeah, when Harry's moved to the team and they explain the rules of like, oh, it's 10 points per goal, but if you catch the golden snitch, you instantly win. You're like, that's such bullshit,
That's
though.
so broken.
Yeah. So I'm like, it doesn't matter how much I work my ass off. If someone on the opposing team can't catch it, it's game over. Like, fuck this sport.
Wait, like, and he caught it by accident too. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel like that's deserved.
But yeah. And then during the Quidditch game that you see that Snape is acting sus because he's like mounting like a spell. You're like, interesting. And the first time as a kid, you're like, why is he doing that? Why is he so mad at Potter? Why is he trying to kill the poor boy?
You sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sus as fuck, Snape.
Like before that, because Hermione's becoming like the for lack of a better term, the nerd of people are like, oh, she's such a smart ass. She keeps condescending on us. We don't want to be with her. And then she feels the effects of that. And then one night she goes by herself to the girls' bathroom while there's a troll in Hogwarts. Again, I don't get how Hogwarts is still standing for children, but sure.
Okay, no, as a kid, yes, as absurd as that is, like, as a kid, that's so terrifying to me.
Yeah.
You're dorming at your own school, and then you just have an announcement from the teacher, just like, hi, by the way, go straight to your rooms because there's a giant troll roaming around.
Yeah.
And you're like, huh? And you see how Hogwarts is. It's creepy at night. So you're like, I'm terrified of this place. I don't ever want to be a wizard. No.
Going to the troll's effects, you're like, I wish effects looked like this today because it still holds up. Where it's a bit dark, but you're like, you know what, because it's night, it looks fine. But when you do get up close, you're like, oh, okay, it's definitely CG. But when you take a swing at Hermione and all the cubicles just collapse, you're like, god damn, that's believable.
Yeah. For sure they use practical effects for that part. But, yeah, they do dispatch it. It's kind of gross. But, yeah, they do dispatch the troll. I don't know why Hogwarts didn't have, like, adults around monitoring, because you can't really miss an 11-foot troll.
Well, Professor Quirrell then, was it? Because he fainted after he was like, there's a troll in the area, and he's like, I thought you just wanted to know. There's a troll. Like, oh. Okay. And then after they knock the troll out, you see like Snape just bleeding for the leg, and they're like, does he have something to do with the trap door with the Cerberus guarding it? Who's also like some parts of the school are guarded by Filch, who's played by Game of Thrones guy. The one who's like, oh, Robb Stark didn't marry my daughter, so I'll murder his entire family. And then later on, he gets killed by Arya. He's David Bradley. He's also the voice of Pinocchio's dad in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, his name was like Scrooge or something.
Felch. His name is Felch. Scrooge.
Felch. Sorry, my bad.
He does look like
an amazing actor, though.
Yeah. But going back to Quidditch, like after that, they're like telling Hagrid, like, oh, it was Snape doing this. He's like, that's weird. Hogwarts professor would never do that. And like he tells them like what's beneath the door, which is the Sorcerer's Stone, or what's guarding it. And they're like, oh, okay. I shouldn't have told you that, but now you know. You're like, oh, thanks, Hagrid. Thanks for
asking. Okay, it's been a while since I watched it. What did the Sorcerer's Stone do again?
Well, for Voldemort, it brings him back to life. It fulfills the desire of the beholder.
Right, gotcha. Oh yeah, and then they have this like mirror thing.
Yeah.
That mirror scene where they show what we all wanted.
Yeah.
And then when it showed Harry's, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so his parents like, oh. It's also sad too, because when they're celebrating Christmas, you realize like, oh, Harry's never had a proper Christmas. Poor guy.
Yeah. And he man gets 0 to 100 gifts, like from hand-me-down clothes to an invisible cloak
that he can use to spy on Snape, and Snape's like muscling for Professor Quirrell And you're like, you're really not helping your case, sir.
Yeah. When Professor Quirrell was like, the one who's very friendly to Harry.
Yeah. And he's dealing with the terrorist from Die Hard. Like, oh no, Harry, you're our man. But yeah, they're investigating further into what the Sorcerer's Stone is. Like even Hermione gets involved. And then like after the first time they meet the Severus, and they barely escape, she's like, let's not do that again, because we'll either die or worse, we'll get expelled. And Ron's like, you should really get your priorities sorted out. We're not kidding when they say Harry is the most famous boy, because everyone's like, oh god, oh my god, you're Harry Potter, you're the boy who lived.
Come to die.
No. I do feel bad for Hagrid when they took his dragon away. He just wanted to have a pet dragon. And Dumbledore's like, alright, he'll go off to Romania. And Hagrid's like, what if he doesn't like Romania? What if the other dragons are mean? You're like, oh, Hagrid.
Poor Hagrid.
Yeah, it comes after Draco snitches on them. Because they're sneaking out at night. And you're like, I need... Not only you're rich, but you're a little bitch snitch. How dare you?
Yeah, you're a snitch.
Like, before we move forward, I hate the fact that points are taken off your house if you do anything to fuck up. But you also award points for the good you do. You're like, I would be so nervous every time.
No, the favoritism in Hogwarts is very broken, I mean, speaking from experience, like, this whole point system thing, probably the most broken thing in this school, besides its security system. Like, it doesn't really help your... What do you gain by it? If you're like, you got 10,000 points as Gryffindor! Yay! Do we get extra days of vacation? No.
Do we get extra HP?
No.
Do we get armor?
No.
Oh, okay.
You got bragging rights that you got X amount of points.
Do we get money? No, okay.
Yeah, you don't even get school credit. Well, they didn't even mention.
Is there a shot of graduating a valedictorian, whatever that means in Hogwarts? Yeah, once they decide to move on Snape and the Sorcerer's Stone, I like how Harry's like, we need Professor Dumbledore, and McGonagall's like, oh, he's out of town. And you're like, oh, that's convenient. So the kids can be in more danger. Cool, thanks.
And the most powerful wizard in the school just happens to go on vacation.
Yeah. And then first, the dog, what's the dog's name? Fluffy is asleep. Oh no, sorry, go back before. They're serving detention because they have to track down a unicorn who's losing blood. Because you're like, who would harm a unicorn? It's so pure of magic. And you find out the person who is hunting the unicorns is Voldemort, and Harry's saved by, what do you call the half-man, half-horse?
Centaur.
We'll call them centaurs for now. Sorry, Harry Potter fans, if you're screaming at us.
No, I think it's correct.
It's like, oh, only the Sorcerer's Stone can grant the Dark Lord his full power again. So they're like, oh shit, we gotta move. Also, I had a Mandela effect. I thought this was the movie where they meet the giant spiders. Because I was raising myself.
I also thought. I was also thinking, I was like, I remember when Ron, broke Harry out of his house and with his floating car.
Yeah.
No. Like with the Ford Cortina, just like, nope, that wasn't it.
I kind of find them more terrifying than Shelob. Because Shelob's just one. Harry Potter has a pack of giant roaming spiders. They're like, can you do something about the Dark Forest? Since it's within your vicinity?
Burn it?
Or just start start anew. You're like, oh, that's fine. There's spiders and the Dark Lord occasionally roams the Dark Forest, but we'll trust that the students aren't too curious. We're like, sure.
I'm surprised they didn't use any of the forest animals that was in the Dark Forest for the final battle.
Oh, what, like Avengers Assemble kind of deal?
Yeah.
And they were just like, you know what? We're lazy. We don't have any wands. We're good. Let the students handle it.
I know. I would have loved to have seen a centaur like back kick like a Death Eater in the face.
But yeah, and they're like, oh shit, since the Dark Lord is hunting unicorns, we're out of time, so we have to get the Sorcerer Stone. And then before that, they have to do like these video game-esque trials where first they're being choked out by the plants, and Hermione's like, oh, you just have to relax, and Ron's like, I am relaxing. You're like, no, you're not.
I mean, it's still kind of gross, but yeah, they pass Fluffy. They go to this plant area.
They have to find the keys, like the flying keys, and once they hit the door, all the other keys start attacking. You're like, how is Harry not bleeding profusely from the metal just going bong on him? Like,
right, and we also get like which is one of my favorite parts, is the chess game.
Yeah,
which was foreshadowed earlier on to this like movie where Hermione was like, "Oh, it's so barbaric playing chess." Really, it's the most like intellectual thing that we could think of in the modern day.
Yeah. Oh well. And Ron takes command, and he even takes one for the team. We're like, good on you, Ron. And Harry goes ahead to confront who he thinks is Snape, but it turns out to be Professor Quirrell, mixing with the Dark Lord. And you see, it's a cool effect seeing the Dark Lord on the back of his head going like, Harry Potter, we meet the last. We're like, he has a nose.
He was like, ew?
Alright. And he, like, from the mirror, takes out the Sorcerer's Stone, he puts it back in, and he's like, what's in your pocket? He's like, I don't know.
I didn't get that part.
Yeah. I know, because Dumbledore later on says, like, if you desire it, but don't want to use it,
it will come to you?
Yeah. Something along those lines.
Okay.
And then Professor Quirrell starts choking out Potter, but his hands start melting his face. You're like, is that a wizard thing? Is that the secret spell?
I don't know.
And then you find out it's because of Harry Potter's thing. Like, he's immune to the Dark Lord for a bit. So that's why when he touches Professor Quirrell, he starts melting. But he is knocked down by the Dark Lord escaping. And he wakes up to Dumbledore being like, oh, you're awake. Cool. No one has to sue anything.
Right? Right? Yeah. Wait, your parents are dead.
Your aunt and uncle don't give a shit too.
Yeah.
But they have this molly moment like, oh, you have a bright future ahead, essentially. And like, it's funny how little Dumbledore interacts with Harry Potter. He's just the jolly good headmaster here, and then later on he gets more and more important. He's not the best at staying calm, though, according to the movie, despite what the books say.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Did you put your name? No. And then they do the last bit of like giving points to the houses, and then you think that Slytherin wins, but you know what, it is bullshit that Dumbledore's like, oh wait, there's some last minute points to be awarded. Like, why did you calculate it before the ceremony?
By the way, this kid found a very special artifact that we kept hidden for a goddamn good reason.
Escape our dead dog. We have fought the Dark Lord. Like, what did you do for the summer? Child, I fought the Dark Lord. Oh, cool.
Yeah, if ever you felt inadequate in school, this movie does not help.
Like, I never fought the Dark Lord. Anything. But yeah, Gryffindor wins, and for now, Harry Potter has to go back to his normal life. You're like, that's kind of shitty.
Right? You couldn't just, like, blow him up with the Weasleys.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Hogwarts couldn't
pay rent.
Hogwarts couldn't be like, hey, Weasleys, we have a favor to ask you. Can you take care of this boy? He's been through enough, but I guess not.
Yeah. No, we stays there for another couple of years.
Yeah, and then they go off, and you hear the closing of the very iconic John Williams theme, and that's the end of the first movie. And I hope we probably did better than the first time we talked about Harry Potter for the first.
I mean, we only went a couple of tangents about the other movies.
Yeah, but we didn't go too deep. So
No.
I'll live with that. But what would you rate Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
Not gonna lie, it's very magical. As a kid, when seeing that for the first time, I'm like taken aback a bit. I'm like, shit, I would love to live in this world. Also, I'm very terrified of it. Watching it now, it is a little bit slow, and you kind of expect more after seeing the rest of the Harry Potter movies. So, doing what the other Harry Potter movies can do, I do have to detract a little bit, but I mean, it is a product of its time. The magic's still there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this one a fair score of 8 out of 10.
Okay.
You know, it's that's good. Like, it's an enjoyable movie, and if it's your first time seeing it, you're gonna have a good time. Excuse me. Oh god, slugs are coming out of my mouth. Anyway, but yeah, like, you're gonna have a good time. It's, I don't know, like, again, depending on your age, I feel like you'll feel the magic that they were trying to capture at that time in 2001. So yeah, you'll thoroughly enjoy this. So it's 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. I do enjoy this movie. I think this is a good start. Like you said, it's a slow start. It's kind of like starting Breaking Bad when you hear all these amazing things, but when you first watch it, you're like, this is pretty slow.
Yeah.
And then when you get to like season 3 and 4, you're like, this is the shit. And that's the same thing with the Harry Potter franchise, where you're like, it's kind of too child friendly, kind of, and then eventually you're like, oh god, it's so dark. But yeah, I do like this movie. I do like the characters. It's a shame I'm not really into books. I've finished the first book. I still have like, how many books are there? 6 more to go. So maybe in the second one I'll have finished the second book and I can talk more about that because I barely remember the first book too. But yeah, good story, good lore, good world building, good effects too. You're like, looking back from the movies that we've seen recently, you're like, I miss it when movies were like this.
Yep.
Yeah. And the fact that this still holds up when a lot of recent movies won't hold up in 5 years, let alone 20 years, you're like, what? Why? Like, definitely some of the MCU stuff. You're like, Ant-Man, Thor Love and Thunder, you're like, yeah, I won't remember you in squat years.
I don't think I have the energy to talk about Ant-Man again.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, like, no, I see what you mean, though. I see what you mean. But then again, around that time, special effects and stuff that Harry Potter did were kind of like new.
Yeah.
While we're now in our day and age is very saturated.
Yeah.
Every CGI or practical, either one. But we've done such a good job that the fact that it's kind of like it's the norm.
Yeah.
So sad to say that is the case.
Yeah. But yeah, 8 and 7, we've set our piece on the first Harry Potter movie, and we'll maybe do the other 2, which is exciting because we'll be ending on Prisoner of Azkaban, if that's the case. But we'll take this adventure slowly and carefully this time.
Yes.
But if you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Maybe you're traveling the lovely English countryside and listening to us. Individually, you can find me KenDalphus1995 on Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnJOM_ on Instagram. It is my account.
And once again, thank you so much for 204 subscribers. I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
I am sorry. I forgot how loud my voice can be with the mic this close. Sorry. But yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, we'll be talking about something that combines 2 things we love: comic books and fantasy. But until then, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.